All right, so we're going to fill this ecology worksheet out together. I want you guys to have the worksheet in front of you, and we're going to, you can see that mine is already filled out, so you'll just fill yours out as we go along. And there's going to be a couple other things that I want to point out to you, so things that you should be circling or adding into what I have on my document, okay? So to begin with, autotroph up here, this is a producer. It makes its own food. And these are plants. And what I want you to write, first of all, is like circle automatic. Think automatic. It makes its own food. It makes it automatically. Okay, so circle that and just make food by itself. Write that up here. And then circle the P in producer and the P in plants. This is a way to remember it. A producer is a plant. If you need to pause this at any time, just do that because I don't have any pauses embedded. So, look at what I'm writing and then pause it. Heterotroph is a consumer, which is an organism that feeds on other animals, and this is like an animal. We are consumers. So, you think about consumption, consuming. That's what this is. So you can underline that, and consuming means to eat. So if you wanted to write consume, eat down at the bottom here. A decomposer breaks down dead organisms and turns them into simpler substances. So these are our bacteria, these are our worms in the soil. Carnivore eats meat. Carni means meat. So if you wanted to circle those. Herbivore eats plants and grasses, and a way to remember that is herbs. Herbs are plants. Omnivore eats both plants and animals, and omni means both. Scavenger, you got to think like scavenger hunt, like a vulture goes and scavenges for his food, and it feeds on dead and decaying matter. They do this because they have special bacteria in their gut that is able to break down this dead and decaying matter. Energy pyramid, this shows the amount of energy in each level of an ecosystem. So it's important to know that the bottom has the most energy and the top has the least. So the bottom is the biggest, it has the most. This is plants and algae, they collect energy right from the sun, so there's the most amount of energy in this level. So I do want you to write that down on here. In this area somewhere, the sun is the original source of energy for all of these things down here. It's the same thing with this food chain, series of organisms interrelated by their feeding habits, and you point from most energy to least energy. Again, the plants collect the energy from the sun. They have the most energy within them. Every time you go up a level in the chain, there's some energy that's used. So there's not as much energy in the snail, there's not as much energy in the bird, and there's not as much energy in the raptor. So some energy is used throughout this entire process, and transferred to other energies, as we know. There's heat transfer, or there's heat energy that's used in every energy transfer. So that's going on in the food chain as well. The food web is just made up of 2 or more food chains. Being able to read the food web is really important. The arrows indicate, like the grass is going to the rabbit. The arrow is pointing towards the rabbit. That means the rabbit consumes the grass. Wherever it's pointing is where it ends up going. Like the energy goes to it, or the food goes to the rabbit goes to the fox, and so on. Now, the carbon-oxygen cycle, you have all of this on the right written down, but I do want you to fill this part in. This is photosynthesis and respiration. So we breathe out, plants breathe in, plants breathe out, so to speak, and we breathe in. So that's what this is indicating. You can start here. We would write down photosynthesis at this stage right here. And then as the plants use the oxygen from the air and break it down, change it into sugar, oxygen is released. So that's what you would write here, oxygen. And then oxygen is consumed by the animals, and then you would write down here, this is respiration. As the animals breathe in and out, This is also part of it. You've got if the animal dies, there's still respiration happening in the decomposers. So as everything breathes out, then carbon dioxide is produced. It shows combustion here in a factory because carbon dioxide is produced here as well. So carbon dioxide. So we have carbon dioxide, photosynthesis, oxygen, and respiration. Okay, I skipped the nitrogen cycle here. You have the water cycle down here, which is just review. We've already kind of gone through this. So condensation is gas to liquid. So I want you to try to do this on your own really quick, and then we'll go over it. So I will put a little pause in the video here, and you try to do this. Okay, so condensation is the first one, from a gas to a liquid. This happens at this stage here. So if you wrote, oh, I'm sorry. This happens up here. Condensation, gas to liquid. If you wrote condensation here, you were correct. Evaporation, that's down here. This is where liquid is turning into a gas. Okay, so condensation is the first one. Actually, let's go down to the runoff first. Runoff is the first one here. Water flowing over ground. You could see that happening here. Water is flowing down the ground. You write runoff right here. Transpiration going up. Plants giving off water. You can see the plants right here. That's easy. Transpiration. Precipitation is falling water. Here you have with the rain, precipitation. Evaporation, liquid to gas. Here's your liquid here. It's turning into a gas. This is evaporation here. And then you have condensation at the top, gas to liquid. Okay. Down at the bottom, we skipped this part too because we went over this together in another unit. So ecological succession. Now you have this written down on yours, I believe. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly go over this because you do see pictures of this, and usually what they have in the test is just a picture like this, and it asks you what it's indicating. So you would just say ecological succession here, and it just means that things change over time. So plants grow, erosion stops. Once plants grow in certain areas, like on riverbanks, there's less erosion because the roots of the plants hold the rocks and stuff in place. So once you have more plants, you also get more soil because soil is decomposed plant, partly made of decomposed plants, which causes more plants to grow. And then as plants grow, you get larger plants like trees. So it becomes a much more stabilized ecosystem. And then a climax community is a stable, mature community in a successive series. It has reached equilibrium and it has evolved and adapted to the current state. So that would be this last phase here. This is now like a forested area, and that would be the climax community. Okay, so that's it. We will have some questions for you guys to do, and you can use this worksheet to help you out.